Welcome to Martini Time, and thank you for sharing this happy half hour with me. Did I ever show you this? It's my uncle's. Isn't that neat? So here we are. See the little frog? Yeah. So we're going to ask the frog to dive down into the martini, see if he comes up with a treasure, with an olive. The idea that caught my interest today, and by an idea I mean an insight idea, an idea that comes as an insight and begins to expand, kind of like you add a little awareness to it and it expands, so it keeps expanding. And your understanding is expanding. You connect the dots. You see the field instead of the objects on the field. You see the background instead of just the foreground. It's like that. So the idea that caught my attention today was that Amazon has just bought Whole Foods. 31 billion, I don't know what. And so it's obvious that Amazon is an expanding universe. And like Pac Man, remember that little metaphorical game that everybody loved because it was a metaphor for the law of the fish. The big fish eats the little fish. So the game was to eat all the fish. Excuse me, I just trapped the cat. Go on, cat, go on. All right. So, so this idea of an expanding Amazon, there's no... and this was what was interesting, and I think was brought up in one of the comments on this, was that Amazon, if you notice, is getting membership. So you get membership by becoming Amazon Prime. Okay, and with Amazon Prime, you get discounts. You get free shipping, you get movies, and all stuff like that. You see, so it's becoming a internet membership business. So imagine what happens if it has Whole Foods and you go into Whole Foods to buy food and the prices are labeled there, this, but if you're Amazon Prime, you get this discount. So it reminds me of Costco. Costco is a membership. You have a membership, and that means you get to go to Costco and you get discounts and you get Prime stuff, good stuff, you see. But with Amazon, it's not like buying membership to Amazon, is that you can shop at Amazon, but if you become members, Prime, then you get a discount, you see. And I began to think, well, this is the way the Holy Roman Catholic Church worked. You take the Middle Ages. Now, there was the Roman Empire. It took over the known world as the one empire, the one, second to none, and it did this not by fighting and removing little fish, it incorporated little fish. You became members of the Roman Empire. You see, if you were Syrian, Egyptian, Persian, European tribe, Germanic tribe, Celts, you're English, whatever tribe you belong to, you could become a member of the Roman Empire and get discounts. You got roads, you got a unified monetary system, you got to trade without tariffs. There were no boundaries. So there was a big discount there. If you were outside the Roman Empire and didn't want to belong, well, then you had all kinds of problems. You see. So anyway, it was an expanding universe, you see, by inclusion. And the Holy Roman Catholic Church just overlaid over the Roman Empire. As the Roman Empire fell apart, the Holy Roman Catholic Church overlaid over it. Instead of having the Roman Emperor as God, it made Jesus as God. And the pagan religions were just incorporated into the Catholic Church. They weren't eliminated as devils. They were just brought in. So you can have your saint of your little town. Can be a saint, a god in the Roman Church, you see. So all these saints, all these gods got a place in the Roman altar, you see. It just incorporated them. An expansion by incorporation. Not by exclusion, by eliminating, you see. So you see how these two forces are opposition each other. One is, I become the one by including you, and the other is, I'll become the one by killing you. You see? Exclusion. Build a wall, exclude. I'm the one because I'm the only one standing, but I am standing because I just killed you. That's one way to get to the one. The other way to get to the one is by including everybody, so you're the one that includes. So Amazon is kind of like on that model. And what's there to stop it, you see? Because, just like in the industrial age, you had a new playing field of industrial energy. You had oil, Rockefeller, Standard Oil. You had trains, Vanderbilt bought up all the trains. Carnegie bought up all the banks. Morgan bought up all the banks. Carnegie bought up all the electrical systems. So each one became an Amazon. But then the government came in, Teddy Roosevelt government came in and broke up the monopolies, broke up Standard Oil. So now you got all these different oil companies out there. Used to be one, you see. So that ended that age of industrial monopolies. But now we have a new age of electronic monopolies. Facebook gobbled up MySpace. Every one of these monopolies, or Pac Man, gobble up everything in its field. You see. To a global, you see. And the thing is, we are living in these platforms. And our choices our choices in life are preconditioned by the platform or the operating system we live in. And I know myself, and we all do this, you go want to buy something, go buy it on Amazon. Click, click, boom, here the next day. It's so easy. You see. So, that's part of the benefit of the monopoly is that it's easy. It's close. You see. Walmart doing the same. Walmart was the Pac Man of the general store. Blackstone here, we used to have general stores. There were 2 or 3 hardware stores here, family owned. And you go to a hardware store and you get to choose from all of the different objects or things they offer that you might need for the house. Tools, lanterns, dishes, whatever, clothes. They were like mini Walmarts. But they were not reproduced. You see, they didn't reproduce. So every town had its own original hardware stores, family owned. But I don't know, when did it start? I think there's a movie out about McDonald's. Oh, forgot the name of it. And I hadn't even seen it, but I know what it's about. It's about where you had a family-owned business, a single idea for a business, a cheap hot dog, and another fella comes along and figures out how to reproduce that business so it expands without end. And so now you have McDonald's reproducing itself until it covers the globe. And all of these, you get a single idea now, And I'm dealing with the same thing in the sense that I have a single, I don't say business, but a dialogue here, a creative dialogue with you and those on Facebook. And it seems to be of interest. It seems to be creative. So somebody would say, well, wow, you need to reproduce that. You need to reproduce that and cover the whole internet. Have an internet business by reproducing this, you see. And I'm caught in the, how do you reproduce dialogue? How do you reproduce live relationship, you see? But anyway, we're playing with this idea of Amazon and the expanding Pac Man that has no checks and balances. And the problem is, if you look at the principles of the Republican Party, which is the business party, is that they say, well, business should not have any regulations or checks and balances. Business should be free. No regulations, no laws. And the free market will balance it. Well, will it? Will the free market balance Amazon until Amazon has everything you buy everywhere? You buy at Amazon? Is there any check to that, you see? So there's a, and the liberal point of view is, well, yeah, you need to check the expansion of business. It's all the wealth is at the top, so you need to put some regulation on there and let that wealth come down, because it's like cream. You know, I used to be a milkman, and we used to have this Guernsey milk, and it was delivered in bottles, and it had cream. So you have a bottle of milk, and you had that much cream, and you either had to pour the cream off and put it in your coffee, or shake it up. Okay, so the conservative idea is to pour the cream off and put it in your bank. And the liberal idea is to shake it up. Isn't that good? You like that? Just thought of that. So the conservative idea is that leave the cream and it'll trickle down into the rest of the skim milk. Creative ideas are fun. But anyway, the idea here is, if we get back to it, that we're in an age now where we have a new Holy Roman Catholic Church. And there are several of them, but one of them we're looking at is Amazon. Just like the church. You see, now the Catholic Church in the Middle Ages, there was no competition until the Protestants came along and broke it up. That's what that was all about, you see. He broke up the monopoly. Okay. So everybody's got a Bible now. Everybody's got a church. But when the Catholic Church was in command, and the big concern in the Catholic Church in the Middle Ages was getting to heaven, and not going to hell. So they had horrible drawings of people burning in the oil and burning of hell. It's kind of like waterboarding forever. You don't want to go there. The eternal burning, eternal punishment. You want to go to heaven. There's angels and flutes, you see. And so the Catholic Church was the portal to heaven and the avoidance of hell. And the sacraments were the instruments, the Eucharist, you see. But you had to be a member of the Catholic Church in order to get the Eucharist, which was the doorway to heaven, you see. So just like with Amazon, today's heaven is low prices. The best price. That's heaven. If I can get the best price, I'm number one. So it's really absurd. If you want to be number one among your peers, get the best price. Yay, I got the sale. Go out and yell at everybody, I got it. I beat you all. I got the lowest price. You see? And so Walmart offers you the lowest price, so you can be a winner. If you go to Walmart, well, Amazon is saying, well, I'll give you the lowest price, but you got to join the church in order to get the lowest price. You got to be a prime person. Prime means number one. You got to be a member, you see. If you're not a member, well, you can still eat, but you're going to have to pay for it. So that's the way it's expanding, you see. And we'll see if the government comes up with some kind of a check to that. You know, and somebody might say, well, why do we want a check? I like shopping at Amazon. It's easy. And you do get, you know, compare the prices. You know, you probably get a little bit off, you know. And also, all the people that sell through Amazon agree to a lower price in order to sell through it. It's what Walmart does. The distributors that sell to Walmart lower their prices to a starvation wage so they can sell in the abundance of Walmart, you see. And Costco the same way. You know, if you could sell your stuff at Costco, you're going to sell a lot more, so you're going to reduce the cost that you would get if you were selling it to a mom and pop. So this eats up all the mom and pops. So it eats up all the private businesses. It eats up all the independent businesses, you see. So there's a paradox here. It's a contradiction in the philosophy that let the big fish expand, it'll be good for all the fish, you see, is that it eats up all the fish. So there's only one fish left. You like tuna? Well, then that's going to be it, because the tuna ate everything else. All variety is gone, you see, and you just have one thing. And it's ironic, because if you go back to the beginning of consumer goods, you might have one cereal. One person invented a cereal and discovered how to mass produce it. And then as time goes along, that becomes boring. So you have two cereals. Now you have 2 flavors. Then you got 4 flavors. Then you got 20 flavors. Now you go to the cereal in Walmart and try to find Wheaties. That was the original Wheaties, one of the original cereals, or just cornflakes, or just Cheerios. You see, you had Cheerios, you had just a few number 1 cereals, and now you've got so many, you're like in Hurt Locker, you're standing there and you can't make a choice. You know, I can't find anything. And it's all watered down. And you say, well, the flavor's gone. It's not as good as it used to be. It's all watered down. It's all broken up, you see, and watered down. So it's very ironic how, like, you know, so Walmart, you know, and right now Walmart's expanding, Amazon's expanding, but at some point, the up becomes down. You can't keep going up without having a down. So every up has a down in it. Every hot has a cold in it. Every hard has a soft in it. Everything has its own opposite in it, built into it. So maybe this is what the Republicans are saying when the free market will correct itself. In other words, expansion, you can't have continuous expansion. In the same way you can't always have positive with no negative. Or you can't have just everything good and no bad. So everything comes in twos, but when the positive is growing, the negative is growing too, but it's unseen. It's kind of like accumulating around, and then suddenly the negative will restore balance, and you're back to 0. You see? Just like an Avatar. You have the conflict between the sky people and the Navi, the industrial and the tribal, or the modern and the Christian and the pagan, whatever you wanted to put into it, it's a metaphor. But the point was, the mother restored balance. She wasn't interested in who was right, she wanted to restore balance. So life is the mother. Life is the mother that restores balance, you see. And this cat is trapped in the foyer and is looking for a way out. And so it's just, it's going to be interesting to see when the red flags come up, you know, about, wait a minute, this looks like a monopoly to me. And that will be a conflict between principles, you see. Well, the free market should take care of it. Let it expand. Let it take over the whole globe. The free market will take care of it, you see? Or will it? Or we don't know. I don't know what the free market is. I don't know what the free market means. It means that everything is free and that you can just, freedom is just without rules. Have you ever seen a basketball game without rules? You ever seen a tennis game without rules? It's the rules that make you free. For a tennis game, the players are free to evolve until you have great skill, but they evolve in the context of rules. So if you take away the regulations and the rules, do you still have freedom? If you expand until all of the competition is gone, and it's the competition that creates the creativity that gave you the idea for your expansion, and you have eliminated all the competitions, you also eliminate creativity. Creativity is born out of dissonance, out of conflict. And this is the American way. The American experiment is contained conflict. Contained conflict. So you take the left and the right, the special interests, and you put them in a conflicting container, and out of the dissonance you create creative policy, creative ideas that advance the nation, you see. But if you put two tomcats in a container and one of them kills the other, so he says, I'm the one, that eliminates the game. That's the end of America. That's the end of creativity. You got your wish, you're number one, but now that's the end of you too. Because you existed in the competition with the others. So the regulations creates free competition, so that the dissonance within the field of the game creates creative ideas that keep growing the nation and solving problems and resolving conflicts and creating new unities, you see. So this idea that you can eliminate the other so you can be the one is self-destructive. Anyway, thanks for joining in, and shop at Amazon.